Hello and welcome to Spec Scootz. I'm Comp. I've got a wonderful, cool product to unbox and set up and test. It is the Mammotion LUBA 3 all-wheel drive autonomous lawnmower. Packed with features. They've got their proprietary TriVision navigation system. Says it can go up to 80-degree slopes. We've got a bit of a hill here. We'll test it on that eventually. 7,000 square foot per hour. Mowing all sorts of lawns. If this thing does work and works well, it truly is redefining lawn care. Let's get this thing unboxed and get it set up. Sounds like the setup's a little bit lengthy, but once you get it set up, it just does its job. You don't have to go out and mow your lawn anymore. This little robot, autonomous robot, is gonna do it for you. Let's get into it. Got the trusty Leatherman. Let's cut it open. Today we're going to be setting it up here at this little lawn area in front of the Spec track headquarters and see what it can do. All right, giant quick start guide. Nice solid piece of literature right in your face as soon as you open it up. So that's good to see. And we'll set that down. Hopefully it doesn't blow away. Everything is backwards, but we've got a hefty manual here. A bumper. Sweet little bumper. Looks like some side bumpers. All right. Sweet side bumpers. What do we got here? Some kind of cover bit. Ooh. It's some good feeling plastic. Oh, it's like a sweet little visor. Motorcycle helmet visor. Little antenna. 915 megahertz. That's sweet. I'll put that in the front pocket and eventually I'll be like, where'd that antenna go? All right, this has got some heft to it. I think this is probably the RTK base station. So yeah, RTK reference station. So this gives you down a centimeter level of positioning. The unit's got multiple vision controls. It's got this crazy GPS to it. These would be the poles for the RTK base station. And that's almost done with the top layer. We've got a few accessory kit. Bunch of cords. Hefty amount of cords. It's most likely for the charging unit. And last little box, not labeled. We've got some stakes. Pretty hefty in-ground stake to most likely stake down that RTK base station or possibly the charging mat. We'll get to that. I'm liking this entire packaging already. Really nice form-fitting foam. And oh, they put some good protective foam over that and getting a first look at the unit. Beautiful. Do not cover that GPS area. Plenty of cords in here. That's attached to that. Let's see if I can just pick it up. Oh, she's a hefty. She's a little hefty unit, but not unmanageable. It is, and that was not a heavy lift. It just is, you can tell it's packed with electronics and packed with all sorts of stuff in there. I'm thankful there's not a bunch of wind today. Things are blowing around a little bit, but not too much. So another accessory kit underneath. So more stakes, most likely this would be for the charging bits. A little cleaning brush, tool, little screwdriver, like interlock connectors that need to be in for it to work. Getting down, okay, we've got another layer that seems like it goes up and around this little charging pedestal. Solid dang foam. And lastly, charging mat with cords dangling. Pretty nice packaging and setup. So I'm gonna pause the video, lay everything out, and we will take a look at the directions, get the bumper screwed on, get everything attached to this beautiful little robot. Love a good, cute little robot that just does its thing. So, it feels well built. Tires feel solid. It's got these omnidirectional front wheels so that it can turn on zero turn, basically. Turn on a dime. We've got a couple of like warning stickers around on top, but overall, great packaging, great feeling unit, and if it works, it'll be awesome. We've got everything kind of laid out, took a look at the manual. It basically says download the app and go from there. Not all that much instructions. It comes with tools. Things are pretty self-explanatory as far as putting the bumpers on. So we're gonna put the bumpers on. I've got Wes behind the camera. And we'll start with the safety bumpers. Comes with a sweet Torx. Seems like maybe a T15 or so. The screws are already contained in there with little nylon washers. Nice, easy installation with the side bumpers, it seems. Proper torque. Side bumpers, front bumper. Comes with that little plastic shield. Curious on where that goes, but we'll get these put on and then turn it on and see if we can get it set up in the app and see what the app says. I did have to create an account for the app. It was extremely simple. Just put in my email and it sent a code to the email and then created a password and done. It is a big old thick manual, but basically English goes to right there. So that's the English part, and then that's all the rest of the languages. It does a great job at running through all of the specs and things, but it basically starts off installation and use. Please refer to the quick start guide, which is the giant sheet that was right on the beginning. It has the QR code for the app. I downloaded that already. And then it goes through lights, LED indicators, technical specs, operating specs, maintenance, battery, laser compliance and compliance info, and then one screen of how to remove the battery. So 30 screws on the bottom, and the different layers come apart. Looking at the quick start guide, we've got all the different bits that tell us what they are, 1 through 16. Not all that much info in that section. Let's see, we've got the English section here of the different presses of different things. And then tools. Do we have a backside? We do have a backside. So step 1, take the 2 screws, or you've got 2 screws, you're gonna plug it in, hold the side, and then you're gonna put the screws in from the top. See these manuals where it's just IKEA style of 3 pictures. It's like, what is it really telling you to do? And then an arrow. Okay, it locked in. I could hear a little click and it locked. And I think all the screws do is prevent these side bits from being able to be squeezed again and keep it from releasing. Came with 4 screws, but there's only 2 slots. So, double check and make sure that the cord is going in nicely. So we are locked in there. Grab our little screws. It's nice it has some encapsulated Loctite on them. Oh, it's a Phillips. Is there Phillips on the other side? There is. All right. Nice feeling threads. Gotta love a good thread. Proper tap. Is it magnetic? Just enough. Interesting that it has labeled on the bumper left and right, but also the logo, when that's proper, is the proper orientation. Step 2, install the side bumpers. Don't turn it upside down onto the LiDAR. So 3 screws for that. Then it says to take the protective cover off of the bottom. So, let's see, oops. Not the easiest to pick up, and I kind of feel not great about putting all of the weight on the bumper. So I'm just gonna turn it upside down, lay it on my knee here. Remove before use. Sharp blades underneath. Caution. Look at these little razor blades. That's a nice piece of foam. Oh yeah. Make sure they're all free spinning. They all have just about the same amount of play, which is nice. And it's interesting. I wonder if these are extremely proprietary or if you could supplement with your own style of dual-sided razor blade. I'm sure Mammotion sells those razor blades as replacement parts. Taking a look at the bottom, we've got a solid front axle and a bit of spring suspension. No dampening of that. Don't pressure wash icon here. And individual hub motors in the rear, individual hub motors in the front. All-wheel drive. All right. And this technically, I believe, is the 4th version of the LUBA. Even though it's called the LUBA 3, they've gone through years and years of reiterations and improvements. And one of them even had a full solid single rotor on the bottom. And what I've researched is that these dual small rotors seem like it's a good improvement over the last ones. So technically 6 motors total, because there's going to be a motor for each cutting rotor. So we'll flip it back over. It's set down on our handy table. Step 3 is to find one of the orange interlock keys and install that. And then step 4 is going to be to put the plastic shield on the charge base. So let's find, nice, it comes with 2 of them in case you lose one. And it's nice that it does come with replacement blades and screws. So it looks like about 12 replacement blades. That's nice. So no tools required for this, and looks omnidirectional. That's going to go into this little port in the back. Just like that. Okay. Next, the base station's going to live right around in this area. So we'll just set that there. We'll get our visor. And looks like it goes on this way. And it's going to key in the back and in the front. Nice positive snap to it. So it's, for charging, it seems like it's contact charging and just mates up pressure-wise with these 2 blades, exposed metal surfaces that are on the back. All right, next. Step 5. You're going to want at least 3 feet of clearance around the charging base. And looks like you want the front bit facing grass. So maybe we'll end up putting it on the grass here. It's basically, this step is anchoring it down with the giant plastic screw bits. Next, robot is set to ship mode at the factory to protect the battery during shipping, which is excellent. Batteries, especially lithiums, should be at a storage. And before initial use, please charge the robot until the side LEDs flash and to activate it. So we're gonna plug the base station in and set the robot on there to start charging. I think we can move it later. Determining base station is kind of an interesting thing, that you want it off your grass for it to be able to cut the grass, but it also comes with those plastic anchor screws where if we were off the grass here, we'd be on concrete, so no real way to anchor it down. So we're going to start with it just like it is for right now. Don't even need to really undo the cord. Fingers crossed that this outlet works. Nice sealed, so it looks like a 2-pin connector, but nice sealed connector. Good positive snap to it. I believe that this cord is going to be to hook up to the RTK base station. And let's set our little robot down. You know it's getting a name. And we'll just call it Lubby to start with. I heard a click. Let's see. Oh, made a sword sound. It just desheathed itself. I don't really see clear, visible LEDs. Quick start guide told us. Okay, side LED. All right. So, we're gonna let that charge, but let's get the RTK base station set up. Open sky with 10 feet around it. And I think if we stick it right next to the charge area here, should be just fine. Tells you about it shows you about the threaded poles. And I just noticed that there's a ruler on the bottom of the quick start guide in metric. So, nice poles. Yeah, they're thin steel, but nice lightweight hollow bits. And we're gonna thread these together. Those are some beastly threads, and an O-ring on the bottom for friction locking between the two. Fill my pocket up with trash. And so we screwed that in. And then the 3-prong, where was the 3-prong? It was in this box. 3-prong stake. Looks like we gotta thread that down for it to thread on the bottom of the RTK extension pole. Man, everything feels quality and well built. All right, got that in. Then base station. We'll undo the included cord, or attached cord, and thread that down into the tube. Couple of rivets on the side. A little bit of jiggling, and it slides in. So we'll get that threaded in and out the side cutout here. Okay, just making sure that it's not keyed in any way, or if it is, how it is keyed. Yep, it is. There's a little tab that lines up with the tab on the pole. Push that collar up and tighten it down. There's a grommet for if you're not plugging it in, and nothing on that side. So, directions say to stick it near the base station, plug it up, and yeah, the other cord is for the base station. And then this included bit of Velcro. It tells you about securing the cord on the way down, which is nice. And then tells you to download the app, hook up Bluetooth, hook up internet, create a map. You're gonna walk around with it, and then you're ready to mow. So we'll get this stuck in the ground. It'll be interesting. It says 10 feet from anything, but this is quite a bit higher. I'm gonna go a couple of feet away. Well, let's see what our cord length is. We've got a decent amount of cord length. Nice little Velcro bits. So unscrew. Okay, just the top part unscrews. Unscrew that. And that 4-pin connector with some arrows to line up. Positive lock and a nice threaded connector. So we'll stick it about here. That's definitely going to be 10 feet-ish from whatever. Excellent. And so yeah, the thing with the grommet is the grommet's gonna go on because I believe that's for, looks like an SMA connector underneath there for possibly, I guess probably that antenna that's in my pocket. It didn't tell us that in the directions though. Not that I saw. Oh yeah, it did. In one picture, it's got the antenna to be screwed on there. So, all right. Well, we're gonna clean up and then let it charge, and then we'll go through a setup. Hopefully it doesn't rain much, but I'm excited to get to mowing. Let's go. It's now charged. The side LED lights are now flashing. It is actually 2 days later. It took mostly that entire first day for it to charge, and then a storm came through, and then yesterday they were having a cookout here with the motorcycle track day, so didn't want to make a spectacle setting this up around a whole bunch of people. Much quieter today. I'm going to open up the Mammotion app. So please add your robot or RTK station to get started. So we're going to click add. Please check the device name located either on the bottom side or on the side of the device near the barcode. All right, we're going to update it from an old version to a much newer version. Upgrading. All right.
Upgrade successful.
All right, upgrade successful. That took forever. Reconnect. I'm now in standby, create a map. And yeah, let's create a map. Lawn mapping. Define your mowing areas. Let the robot explore automatically or remote control it to map lawn boundaries. Create multiple areas as needed for flexible and precise lawn care. All right. Paste a link to the charging station and lawn areas for smooth travel. Pre-mapping check. All green check marks, start mapping. Let's go with manual mapping. Unlocking from the charging station. Please wait. And it's a moving. Where are you going? Scanning surroundings. Okay. Ready to map. If the robot's on your lawn now, you can start mapping. Otherwise, go to your lawn first. All right.
Start mapping a channel.
Drive path will be used as the entry channel. Charging station to lawn. Control the robot straight to the lawn. Got it. Okay. So I'm turning it. That's pretty cool. And going forward. And now we're on the lawn. Now we're going to hit map.
Channel mapping completed.
Scanning surroundings.
Start mapping a task area.
Guide the robot one full lap around the lawn perimeter. Okay. In case of mistakes, hold the joystick reverse button. Robot will reverse along its previous route. Okay. That was definitely real easy. Drive it around with the app and one lawn mapped out. And on to next one. So we're gonna click add lawn. All right, lawn number 2, just walking it around this area here, and it's gonna add this as a whole nother lawn. All right, well, it kind of got lost driving over here, it seems. So it wants me, in order to map this third area, I think I'm gonna go back by the base station and then hit the button to get it to this lawn 3, and then it'll know how to get there from the base area, I believe. Finally got it. I had to bring it over to lawn 2 and then drive it to lawn 3 to be able to start mapping lawn 3. Area 3 has been successfully added. I want to go through and remove this little patch. So we're going to drive it over there. And so I've got it right by this little rock area. Create a no-go zone. So create manually. And then start mapping. So mapping no-go zone. No-go zone mapping is almost complete. Save. Saving.
No-go zone mapping completed.
try. So that's our little no-go zone. Now we should be able to just hit mow all the areas, confirm, start. Self-checks completed. Next.
Start working.
Start working. And it's off. Oh, and it almost drove off the curb, first thing. Where's it gonna go? Where are you gonna go, little guy? All right, it drove to lawn number 1. It's just kind of driving around in it. Still just driving around. Not really sure what it's doing. It's thinking about stuff. I like the cute little light. It's plain tone. Spinning blades. Okay. Chopped the rock already. Adjusting the mowing height a little bit. Which it's now just sitting there after I adjusted that. It's thinking. What are you doing, bud? I did map to the outside of these posts. Now it adjusted the height. Got to that post, sees it, and then it's doing a little 180. It's super quiet. And this grass is pretty well cut already, so it's not doing all that much work. See how close it gets to its wires over here. Pretty good. Does a lot of kind of weird back and forth. it's mowing. It was nice and easy to map. It's chopping through weeds pretty well. So we'll give it some time to mow and see how it does. Those omnidirectional wheels are pretty cool. Let's see if it backs up and gets all the way into the corner. Kind of. So now it's on its second inner pass. Go, little lawnmower, go. All right, we'll let it do its thing and check back in a little bit and see how the mow goes. Luba succeeded in its mowing mission. Let's take a look at how it did. I'm thankful it didn't fall off of the curb over there. Actually built a virtual fence. Overall, the grass height is nice. I set it to 2 inches. And it didn't get stuck on any of the rocks. There are a few places, because I navigated around these, it just used its detection to detect these obstacles. And I was watching in the FPV cam, and it got to this area and then just kind of skirted around. So this entire triangle, it didn't really get, and there are definitely a few straggler weeds still sticking up. But overall, it did a good job. It was really cool to watch the FPV feed at night there. It did pretty well. See, it didn't get everything right around the outside perimeter here. Missed some weeds, but kind of would rather have that than it fall off. So, did a pretty good job. I'm going to incorporate in that little lawn and then probably give it some big tasks. See how it does at the big fields. One issue that it had, it was after dark and this car wasn't here. So it basically, I've got a route for it to get to that lawn, and it would basically get to right about here and detect a phantom object and not complete its task. That it would sit there and I would have to cancel the task and then it would start up again. So it was able to then get past the phantom obstacle. So Luba did pretty well. I'm quite impressed. I'm curious now with this car parked here, this beautiful signature Model S, that its route to get to that yard is right in the middle. So I'm gonna go to the Mammotion app, and I'm just gonna tell it to start, and I don't think it's getting anywhere, but we'll hit next. Start working. You can tune it to a female voice or a male voice. So we've got a lady voice now. So it's undocking from its charged dock, and it's gonna go, oh, actually, I have this lawn set as number 1. So I'm going to pause that, complete the task, gonna start, oops. One kind of lame thing after each time, and when you cancel something, the resolution pop-up window pops up, but we're gonna go to start, next. Actually, it's all 3 lawns if I go to that. If I go to start, new task, and then select area 2 I want it to go to. So we're gonna confirm that and start. All checks completed. Okay, now start working. It should turn itself around. Oh, there we go. It basically saw the car. It's thinking. It's wondering what to do. And most likely, it's just going to stop. So yeah, this is what it does. It gives you a notification when it sees something, so channel obstructed. So make sure there's nothing in the channel. So what I'm gonna have to do is create a new channel for it to go down and around the car to get to lawn 2. And most likely change this channel here, because right about here is where it was pausing and getting obstructed by nothing. There were people walking around and things, but I was watching the FPV camera, which is really nice that you can see what's going on the camera. It's pretty low latency without Wi-Fi, but pretty cool that you can see what's going on. So, Luba, you did a good job. I'm curious as to what the bottom side looks like. Let's give it a tip up. Robot tilted.
The front wheel lifted.
Both front wheels lifted. But looks nice underneath. I heard it clang a few rocks and things like that here, but no major damage to any of the blades after the first mow. Would hope not. So it's gonna go around and mow another day. So great job, Luba. Well, I would call that a successful first test of the Luba 3 all-wheel drive. Very impressive little lawnmower. Really cool that it just goes out and does its own thing. It had very little hiccups, and interesting that it paused on the route to get to lawn 2. So we'll see if that's a persistent thing. Maybe it was just lighting in that area. It's using its cameras and its LiDAR and all sorts of stuff to make sure it's not running into anything. So Luba, great job. Thank you so much for watching Out of Spec Scootz. You have a great day.